Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Exercise 1.5, question number 1. We have to draw the graph of the following equations. Let's start from 1. And what is it? The given equation is x square plus y square equals to 9. You can see it is in implicit form. So to make this data table, we have to evaluate y. For that, we bring this x square towards this side, and we get y square equals to 9 minus x square. Then take square root on both sides, and you will get y, which is equal to plus minus under root 9 minus x square. The domain of this function is of course minus 3 to 3. The range is also from minus 3 to 3. With the help of these values, we are going to make the data table to draw the graph. You can see I have taken the values of x from minus 3 to 3, and then we are going to put all these values in here, and we will get eventually the values of y. Let's start from minus 3. When we put x equals to minus 3 in here, we get 9 minus and then minus 3 whole square, which becomes 9. So 9 minus 9 is 0. Result, at x equals to minus 3, you will have y equals to 0. Then x equals to minus 2. Put x equals to minus 2 here. 9 minus 2 whole square, that is 9 minus 4, which is 5. So the value of y is plus minus under root 5. Now go for your calculator. Calculate it and then round it off to one place of decimal, because we have to draw these points on the graph paper, and the values for more than one place of decimal, they are very difficult to plot on the graph. We have to use very large scales. So we are going to approximate all the values to one place of decimal. Next, we put x equals to minus 1 in here, and you get 9 minus and then minus 1 whole square, which becomes 1. So 9 minus 1 is 8. Under root 8 is approximately 2.8. So at x equals to minus 1, the values of y are plus minus 2.8. Then at x equals to 0, you put x equals to 0 here, you get y equals to plus minus under root 9, which is plus minus 3. Then at x equals to 1, you will get the same values which you had for x equals to minus 1, because we are taking square. So when you take square, there is no difference between the square of minus 1 and the square of 1. So at x equals to 1, you get the same values which you have for minus 1. At x equals to 2, you have the same values which you have for minus 2. And at x equals to 3, you have the same value which you have for 3. You can calculate these values from here. Let's get to the graph paper. On the graph paper, we are going to start by taking a suitable scale. The scale which I have taken here is 5 small square equals to 1 on both the axes. You may define it as 1 small square equal to 0.2. Then let's get to the graph paper. Draw x-axis, draw y-axis. On x-axis, mark 0. Then count some 5 small squares, mark 1. For next 5 squares, 2. For next squares, 5 squares, 3. And similarly on the left hand side, after 5 squares, mark minus 1. Next 5 square, minus 2. Next 5 square, minus 3. Similarly on y-axis, count 5 small square, then 1. Next 5 square, 2. Next 5 small square, 3. And similarly on the left hand side, this is minus 1, this is minus 2, and this is minus 3. Now let's start plotting our values. I'm going to start plotting from the central value. At x equals to 0, y equals to plus minus 3. Here it is. At x equals to 0, y equals to plus 3, mark this point. Y equals to minus 3, mark this point. Then at x equals to 1, the value is plus minus 2.8. Minus 1, the value is minus 2.8. I'm going to plot all these values now. At x equals to 1, this is 1, this is 2. Now 1 small square equals to 0.2, so count 4 small squares and this will be 2.8. On negative side, this is minus 1, this is minus 2, and count 4 small squares and this will be minus 2.8. For minus 1, this is 1, this is 2, and count 4 small squares, this is 2.8. This is minus 1, this is minus 2, and count 4 small squares, this is minus 2.8. Next, we have at x equals to 2 and at x equals to minus 2, the values are plus minus 2.2. So at x equals to 2, this is 1, this is 2, count 1 small square, this is 2.2. This is minus 1, this is minus 2, count 1 small square, this is minus 2.2. At x equals to minus 2, this is 1, this is 2, 1 small square more, 2.2. This is minus 1, this is minus 2, 1 more small square more, and this is minus 2. Now at x equals to 3 and x equals to minus 3, the values of y are 0 and 0. So you can see at x equals to 3 y is 0, at x equals to minus 3 y is 0. Now take your pen or pencil with whatever you are using and join all these points by a smooth curve and you will get your graph. And what is this graph? What is our observation? It is a circle with radius 3. And for one value of x, we get two values of y, means it is not a function. You can also try the vertical line test. If you draw a vertical line on this graph, it will cross through 2 points of the graph. So it is not a function. Let's get to our next. Number 1, part 2. X squared plus 16 plus y squared by 4 equals to 1. Again an implicit function. So first of all we take LCM, then bring this 16 over here, then bring this x square over here, then divide both the sides by 4, then take plus minus under root. So result, you will get the value of y, which is plus minus under root 16 minus x squared by 2. You must note that this 2 is outside the radical sign. Yeah, we have 4 here and here we have 2 because this 2 is outside the radical sign. We have applied radical sign over 4. As a result, we get a 2 here. So the value of y is this. Domain, the domain of this function is from minus 4 to 4 and the range turns out to be minus 2 to 2. Let's get to the graph. Let's get to the table. We are going to take the values of x from here, that is starting from minus 4 up to 4. So you can see the values of x are minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We are going to put each of these values one by one in this here and then we will evaluate y. So when we put x equals to minus 4, the answer becomes 16 minus 4 square is 16, 16 minus 16 is 0, 0 by 2 is 0. So for x equals to minus 4, the answer is 0. For x equals to minus 3, put minus 3 here, you will get square of minus 3 is 9, 16 minus 9 is under root 7. So you will get this value, plus minus under root 7 whole by 2. Use your calculator, calculate it in decimals and then round it off to one place of decimal and you will get plus minus 1.3. Then put x equals to minus 2 here and you will get plus minus under root 3. Why? Because you will get 16 minus 4, that is 12. 12 is equal to plus minus 2 under root 3. 2 got cancelled and we get this. Use your calculator and then approximate to one place of decimal. So it is 1.7. At x equals to minus 1, just put minus 1 here and you will get the value of y equals to under root 15 because minus 1 square is 1, 16 minus 1 turns out to be 15. So value of y is plus minus under root 15 by 2. Use your calculator, approximate the value to one place of decimal and the answer will be plus minus 1.9. Then you put x equals to 0 here, you will get plus minus under root 16 which is 4 divided by 2, the answer will be plus minus 2. At x equals to 0, the values are plus minus 2. Then you put x equals to 1 and you will get the same value which you got for minus 1 because we have to take the squares. The values at x equals to 2, value at x equal to 3 and value at x equals to 4. All these values can be calculated just by putting these values in place of this x. Let's get to the graph paper. What is the scale here? The scale I have taken here is on both axes we are taking 10 small square equal to 1 or you may say 1 small square equals to 0.1. So let's see. Count 10 small square 1, next 10 2, next 10 3, next 10 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, here 1, here 2, here minus 1, here minus 2 and this is it. And let's start plotting our graph. I'm again starting from the central point. At x equals to 0, y equals to plus minus 2. At x equals to 0, y equals to 2, y equals to minus 2. At x equals to 1, it is plus minus 1.9. At minus 1, it is plus minus 1.9. So you can see here, at x equals to 1, this is 1, count 9 more squares and you get 1.9. This is minus 1, count 9 more squares and this is minus 1.9. Minus 1, 9, this is 1 and 9 more squares 1.9 minus 1, and this is minus 1, 9 more squares minus 1.9. All are done. Then at x equals to 2 we have plus minus 1.7, at x equals to minus 2 we have plus minus 1.7. At x equals to 2, this is 1, 7 more squares, 1.7. This is minus 1, 7 more squares, minus 1.7. Minus 2, this is 1, 7 more squares, 1.7. This is minus 1, 7 more squares, minus 1.7. Then at x equals to 3 and x equals to minus 3, the values are plus minus 1.3. So at x equals to 3, this is 1, 3 more squares, 1.3. This is minus 1, 3 more squares, minus 1.3. This is minus 3, 3. This is 1, 3 more squares, 1.3. This is minus 1, 3 more squares, minus 1.3. Then at x equals to 4 and x equals to minus 4, the values of y are 0. So you can see at x equals to 4, this is 0. At x equals to minus 4, this is 0. Then join all these points by a smooth curve and you will get the graph. And what is our observation? It is an ellipse. It is not a function, and that's it. Okay, let's get to part, and it